What's going on, everyone? Happy Easter once again. Time for today's pandemic update video. And today we'll start off with some good news. I have no new COVID positives to report. I haven't found any yet today. It's only about 3:45 in the afternoon. Could find some later on. Hopefully I don't. And also I have not found any COVID outbreaks this afternoon. So that is some really good news. However, we do have some bad news, and we'll start off with St. Louis, Missouri first. St. Louis, Missouri is ending their COVID-19 emergency. They're citing that cases are lower and that hospitals are no longer overburdened with COVID patients and the availability of the vaccine. Okay, I get it. At the moment, hospitals are not overwhelmed. But we got two factors going on here. One, it's Easter right now, and two, we have a new variant that's coming to town. With this new variant coming to town, we don't know how high hospitalizations are going to go. Each variant's different than the other. Is there going to be less immunity from XBB.1.5? We don't know. So I think this is a poor time. And you know what? It kind of reflects what's going on in Missouri. As we have seen on wastewater, Missouri has not been updating their wastewater data for the latter part of about 2-3 weeks now. So it's concerning. And hopefully we get their wastewater data back. But yeah, this is some bad news. Then we come over to this. And this is really bad news. India now is reporting in the last 24 hours, their active COVID cases have climbed to 32,814. India logged an additional 5,357 new COVID cases. Their COVID cases are rapidly rising, and I'm concerned. Could that double again to 10,000? It is definitely possible at this rate as it continues to rise there. Alright, time to take a look at the latest flu numbers. We're doing this at the start of the video today because there's some interesting things going on here in flu cases. First off, Puerto Rico is at moderate cases. Then you come over here to New Mexico. New Mexico is at moderate cases. And take a look at California. California has now gone to moderate flu levels. Then you come to New York City and Washington, D.C. Both are at high levels of flu. That's concerning considering that we're now at April 9th, and usually if you get a second spring bump, or at least from what I've seen from historic data, it's usually ending by now, and it's not. New Jersey's low, but almost near moderate, as is Virginia. Virginia's almost near moderate as well. The rest of New York State, however, is at low levels right now, and the vast majority of the rest of the country is also at low levels of flu, so I guess that's some good news. Taking a look here at this date in COVID history. April 9th, 2020. CDC modifies and extends the no-sail order for all cruise ships. If you remember, at the start of the pandemic, there were some rather large outbreaks of COVID on cruise ships. Some people had to be hospitalized afterwards. Some people got stuck in quarantine on ships for several days. It was a disaster at the beginning of the pandemic for cruise ships. Taking a look at some wastewater data for today. I don't think anywhere has updated, but we'll just take a look at it anyhow. You can see generally most of the Northeast is low to near moderate. We do have some actual moderate sites up in Maine. Great Lakes, again, low to moderate. A couple high places mixed in between. The Southeast is generally low. Just a few moderate places. A couple in South Carolina and North Carolina. We do have one high reporting site in Texas. The rest of the state is low to near moderate. And there's Missouri. As I told you, Missouri is not updating for some reason. Very few reporting stations there. And in Nebraska, they are updating. Go figure, a Republican state updating more frequently than Missouri. And look at this. You do have a lot of moderate to high sites still. Some of them state that they're dropping, but each week they update. We're still seeing quite a few high locations there. The West Coast is not doing too bad, but can't get a good read on California. Look how many are grayed out not reporting sites. It's just ridiculous. Alright, moving on to this week's COVID transmission, which if you want to believe it, fine. If you don't want to believe it, that's fine too. High transmission, 888 counties. Substantial, 581 counties. Moderate transmission, 1,268 counties. Low transmission, 485 counties. Taking a look at the variant proportion for this week, no, XBB.1.6 is still not added to this. I don't know when it will be added to this, but XBB.1.5 is still 88.3%, XBB.1.91 is 5.1%, XBB.1.51 is 2.4%, XBB is 1.9%, and BQ.1.1 is 1.4%. I have seen on Twitter, and as a matter of fact, I think I've retweeted it, some data, non-CDC data, which does show XBB.1.1.6 now spreading in more states such as New Jersey, and it's out there. Missouri, as we know, has high numbers. Washington. So yes, it's out there. CDC just hasn't added it yet. All right, New York State. If you recall earlier today, I said I had some interesting data on New York State, and that's true. Here we go. Cases, they haven't updated. 793 new cases. This is going back to Friday. 2.2% positivity, 1.7% 7-day average. But we come over here to hospitalizations. Let's start on the statewide level first. Then I want to show you something. Here's statewide. They have 929 people in the hospital, 105 people in the ICU. Then we switch this to different region, New York City. Let's take a look at New York City. Haha! New York City is starting to rise with hospitalizations. That's concerning. That's a signal of perhaps the new variant, maybe 1.1.16, maybe 1.9.1, one or the other, but something's starting to drive hospitalizations upward in New York City, and, this is pre-Easter, so not good. 289 people in hospital in New York City, 36 people in the ICU, versus the week before, 261 and 27 people in the ICU. So yes, it is starting to tick upward in New York City. It's at the very start of it. It may stay flat for a little while, or it may start going up faster. I think the best chance of what's going to happen is it'll probably go up a little bit faster, because this is Easter we're talking about. And eventually, the cases should reflect this, despite us missing so many cases to the at-home test, or not testing at all. Eventually, cases should start to reflect this, but it's something we have to pay attention to. Let's also take a look at another region in New York City. Let's go up here to Western New York, because we often know Western New York sometimes starts to rise sooner as well, and right now it's just leveling in Western New York. We're not seeing a big rise there yet, but it's at the leveling stage, so we'll have to watch. It could turn the corner to a rise, and let's also take a look at Long Island, since Long Island is right next to New York City, and Long Island for right now, they are still dropping. All right. I wanted to show you some BNO data today, but look at this here. We don't have any update from BNO today. And they haven't updated in multiple days, but there is this, and I think I told you this the other day. If not, I'll say it again. Update. 3 cats in the U.S., 2 in Nebraska, 1 in Wyoming, have tested positive for H5N1 bird flu. That's not good that it's starting to spread to cats, and I think it's time we do an update of the H5N1 spread and outbreak, and we're going to do something on that at some point this week. I don't know what day it's going to be. Maybe later in the week, but I'm going to gather enough data on that I think it's time we do an update, because there's been quite a few things, including this, that have come out since our last H5N1 update. Alright, quickly just taking a look at Walgreens. We already did a Walgreens update video today. National positivity is 23.2%. The prior week is 25%. That's a difference of down 1.8%. Alright, taking a look at some international data. We continue to see some international countries that are starting to rise. South Korea, cases are up 7%. Deaths are down 2%. Russia, cases down 15%. Deaths are up 8% in Russia. 253 deaths in the last 7 days. 235 in the previous 7 days. Japan, cases are now up 14%. Deaths are down 34%, but that might start turning the corner pretty soon, because look how many cases they're doing here. They're doing quite a few cases. 53,989 this week. The previous 7 days was 47,398. India continues to rise. This is, like I said, India is concerning. Up 84% on cases. Weekly change in deaths is up 68%. Australia, cases are down 18%. Deaths are down 29%. Germany, cases down 40%. Deaths are down 29%. Italy, cases down 32%. Deaths down 41%. Mexico is now dropping, down 21% on cases, down 32% on deaths. And then we come down here to Iran. Iran, the cases are rising, up 19%, deaths are up 25%. Siberia, cases are down 12%, but their deaths are now up 64%. Romania, cases down 15%, deaths are up 59%. And we'll do a couple more here. Indonesia, cases are up 9%, deaths are down 7%. Malaysia, cases up 38%, deaths are down 57%. And Saudi Arabia, cases are up 45%. Qatar, cases are up 16%, deaths are up 100%. And finally, we'll end on the Philippines. Philippines are up 29% on cases and down 48% on deaths. Alrighty, that does it for today's pandemic update video. In the upcoming week, like I said, we'll do an H5N1 update, and we'll start watching for trends to see if Easter had any, rise in cases. And we're already starting to see a rise in hospitalizations in New York City. And remember, New York City is our bellwether area for when a new wave is coming. So the fact they're starting to rise, that could be the sign of a new national wave. We know it's coming sooner or later because of these new variants that are out there. It's just only a matter of time, and, well, we'll have to pay close attention to New York City this week. So, with each update out of New York this week, we're going to be showing you hospitalizations in New York City. Alright, have a safe and happy Easter, everyone, and I'll see you all again next time. But until I see you again next time, test negative, and stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button down below. So long.